Hello, sexy lady.
Hello.
Good to see you today. Hadn't seen you in a couple of days. Seems like.
You see me at night.
I know. We're sleeping.
Yeah. Slide in on you.
Mm-hmm. How's pool league going?
We had a off week last week, or last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Getting ready for Halloween.
Heck yeah, I am. I'm
Got-
excited about Halloween.
Got those dogs dressed up?
I do. I was actually pretty proud of myself.
Tell me about it.
I didn't spend a ton of money. I spent.
Well, you got one dog a racist costume, and
Why is it always gotta be about racism?
I'm
It's
just-
not racist.
I'm just
It's funny, damn it.
It is funny. I'm just kidding. It's not racist.
Um,
It's just a Chihuahua dog in a taco uniform. I mean, I find it funny. I just think it's hilarious.
I think you'd be proud of me.
Okay.
Except for, I got carried away with the pumpkins, okay? Went down here to Witt's Farm, and I pull up, and they've got so many different kinds of pumpkins. They got different shapes, different colors, and I got excited. I got me a little wagon, and I filled the wagon up full of pumpkins, all different shapes and colors, and I tried really hard to reel it in, but I spent $30 on pumpkins.
Okay.
And I was going to load that in my car, and then I look over and there's a bale of hay. And so then I spent $6 for the bale of hay.
How did you get that home?
Oh, there's hay all in my trunk. You're going to have to clean that out later. Because you know I'm not going to.
I did see the bale of hay, and I thought,
It barely fit. And I didn't think I was going to get it out. But,
without tearing it to pieces.
yeah.
It
But
looks
then I
good.
went to the little pet store down here off of Fieldstown Road.
Mm-hmm.
And the costume that I got for Poncho and for Puff Daddy were half off. So,
That's kind of surprising being that close to Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, I could believe it, a week after or something.
they had a chicken costume, and I was like, oh my god, that is perfect for Rogue because she's such a big baby, a big sissy. She's such a disappointment. Pitbull is supposed to be mean. She's terrified of everything. I'm so upset with her right now. But anyways, I really wanted the chicken costume for her, but the largest that they had was not even going to come close to fitting her.
Oh.
And then I went to TJ Maxx. They didn't have anything, so she ended up with a $1 little hat and scarf from Walmart. Little bomber hat.
Little World War II bomber hat. She looks
Yeah.
like she's missing an eye. She's a good war wound.
I think I'm going to go back to her pirate costume.
Yeah, but that's kind of typical, isn't it?
Yeah.
With her missing eye.
Yeah, but it's funny, the patch.
That's
She
true.
doesn't even know. It doesn't bother because she doesn't know it's there.
Yeah, that's true. She
So,
looked, she looked funny last year, though. I liked it.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
Maybe I'll change up their costumes, alternate them out.
Are you going to take them anywhere?
Well, I have to. It's Halloween. It's the best time of the year. And I got to parade them around in their little costumes.
Are they having a dog festival of any sort?
I have no idea. I would parade them around the Earl, but,
She's a
Rogue's a
sissy.
big pansy. Poncho will go with me, though. But
Oh, yeah.
I got to find a way to secure him. He's so little.
Right.
And Puff Daddy will go. But he's little, too.
I was listening to Mom in Prison today
Yeah,
again. That's one of our best ones.
I think so.
Oh yeah. Some of that stuff y'all were coming up with was pretty damn hilarious.
I hadn't listened to it.
Have you still been communicating with the prisoners?
No.
You just kind of fell off interest?
No. Not fell off interest. But,
Reserved?
yeah.
Nervous? Good, because I don't have to kill nobody.
Yeah.
Even some crazy broad, women could be crazy too. I mean, just
Well, and the thing about it, too, is even if you make contact with them, you're never going to know the truth.
oh, absolutely.
And then you worry about I would worry about. You know, if I say certain things that they would pick up on where I live, or, you know, like even if I got like a vague P.O. box, well, you know that I live in this area. I don't know, it just...
It's kind
what
of
if-
creepy.
Yeah, what if somebody gets, like, too attached and they get out of prison and they show up at the bar? That's...
That'd be rough.
Dude, we had this guy come to the bar last night. It scared the fuck out of me. Me, Patty, and Nicole were standing behind the bar, and Patty was, you know, her shift was coming to an end, Nicole was coming on, and this guy that I had never seen walks in, and he orders a beer, and Patty repeats it back, and Nicole goes, no, he's done. Like, or not, that he's not done, like, just, we're not serving him. I don't know where he's been, or what he's drank, or what he's done, you know, drug-wise or other, but we're not serving him. And so Nicole goes over there and she tells him, you know, hey, I'm the head bartender. We are not serving you. You cannot have a beer. I can give you a glass of water, whatever.
What'd he say?
That was the creepy part. He didn't say a fucking word. He just looked at her. And it was almost... That was a creepy look. But he didn't say anything, and he just kind of stared at her, and then he backs away. And then he turns around. This is when... Because for me, I was actually really proud of Nicole, because it is really hard to gauge somebody that quick. Mm-hmm. Okay? And she obviously saw something that, you know, told her that he was, you know, not okay to serve. But it's really hard. If you don't know somebody walks in off the streets, sometimes it can be difficult to make that decision that fast that this person does not need to be served. Some people are just fucking weirdos. They're funky or hyper or...
Depends on how busy you are.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, there's a lot of variables in it.
Right.
And so you know, in my opinion, he had not done... I couldn't gauge him.
Right.
You know, I would have given him the beer. Patty was about to give him the beer, and Nicole shut that shit down. She saw something. And of course, I'm not going to be like, no, he's okay. You know, like, she was right. You know, that's her name on the board. That's her responsibility. So, of course, I'm going to back her up. Mm-hmm. So, you know, she tells him, like, hey, you know, I'm not giving you anything to drink. I can give you a glass of water or soda if you want. Mm-hmm. And he just stares at her. And then he backs off. And this is when I knew he's fucked up. The door that he came from, he's standing in between the two doors. You know, we got one door way over on the left, one door way over on the right. And he's standing there, and he kind of sways and staggers back, and he goes, and he looks at Nicole, and he points to the door, and he goes, is that door open? Like, motherfucker, you just walked through that door 30 seconds ago.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. And so she's like, yeah, that door's open. And so he, you know, walks over to the left side to that door. Well, you know, we've got that half wall right there. Okay, so you can't see, you know, about chest level on these people. And he walks over toward the door, and he's standing behind that wall. And he was, you know, had his back to us. He was walking out, but then he just turns. He stops and he turns. And so we can't see, you know, from chest down.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking staring us down. Not moving. He's not saying anything. And I'm like, I had that second of, this is it. This motherfucker's going to pull a gun out on us.
No,
because you couldn't see, you know.
Yeah, didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah. And I mean, that wall is high enough that he could have, you know, been moving his, you know, his lower arms. And I mean, but he didn't. He just stared at us and then shook his head disapprovingly, like, can't believe you tell me no.
Was
But
he a younger guy or an
no,
older
he was an
guy?
older guy.
Really?
Yeah. But he was super creepy.
Well, hell yeah. What time was it?
It was early, like 6:37.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is, the 50-50 thing is either he's not going to come back on you or whatever, as far as you had enough time, he wasn't going to be waiting on you after work. But
Right.
he did have enough time to come back.
Yeah, but he didn't.
That's the hard part.
Well, and I told you the other night, I had a problem with a customer. I was upstairs playing pool with a regular, and this guy came in, and I guess he'd been there for a while, but because I was upstairs playing pool with a regular customer, I was not paying attention to this quote-unquote new customer. But when he come upstairs, the new customer come upstairs, he just caught my eye. And he didn't have a drink in his hand. I didn't even know if he had been to the bar to drink.
Right.
I just knew that he was in there, and I had a gut feeling. There was something about him that just wasn't right. Well, after all this was said and done, it come to find out the bartender that was working that night had already decided she didn't feel good about him. She wasn't going to serve him anymore. And the regular customer that I was playing pool with,
Had already eyeballed him.
had been eyeballing this customer as well. So
Yeah.
you've already got 3 people in that bar that haven't even spoken to each other about you, but they already don't feel good about you.
Right.
Well, he did something, and I ended up confronting him about it. And I did it not without even thinking or considering, anything.
Any repercussions or
Right.
anything?
And what made me feel good, really good, was, because it wasn't like, I didn't have Matt there that night.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have security. It's me and the girls, and then our customers. And, I confront this guy, and he was really hostile. He just had a shitty attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And, when it was all over, when he finally walked off, I turned around, and there's that regular customer who, we may not always see eye to eye on shit, but
He
this
was ready.
motherfucker was bowed up behind me. I mean, he was just as tense as I was. He was,
Yeah.
so that made me feel really good to
Yeah.
know that
You had
he
people
was
there.
ready, he was ready to go to battle for me.
You were going to have to hit the guy with a chair on your
Yeah.
own. Wow. I still think about that night that that I had to diffuse a situation down there for you, and looking back at the video, and you're back there stretching like you're fixing to do ballet.
That was St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
We were also celebrating your birthday.
That was
Dude,
cool.
Jason was fired up.
He was. But it
Me
was,
and Jason both were ready to
I know,
kick
but
that
you were
guy's
back.
ass.
You were back there stretching like you were getting ready for a marathon. You
I
were,
was not stretching.
you had your foot up on the counter. You was leaned in. Yeah, you was.
Oh,
Yeah, you was.
Well, yes, but I was making a joke to Nicole about jumping off the bar on that guy. He was a douche.
He was, but it was funny though. It's just because it was just the way you were stretching. Had me laughing.
Can't pull a hammy. It was your birthday. We had plans afterwards.
That's true. And I was pretty intoxicated. I don't know how much good I'd have done.
For somebody who never ever drinks, and as long as we've been together, I can honestly count on one hand and still have spare fingers the times I've actually seen you drunk.
Yeah, that was probably one of them.
Oh, that was definitely a night you got drunk.
Yeah.
It was a good night though.
Yeah. I paid for it the next day, I think.
And the day after.
And the day after. Mm-hmm. Does things sound weird to you?
It sounded fine until you started messing with it.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I think I got it all back the way it was. How's that?
Sounds about good.
Okay. I can delete that part out.
Good.
But there was something else. What was I going to ask you about? Well, I mentioned to you earlier that one of the girls is leaving the office.
Yeah, your little eye candy.
Can't aggravate her no more. We did take her to lunch today though, so I had to buy her lunch.
Where'd y'all go?
Fish market.
Oh. Well.
Yeah. She gets to start new, bigger, and better things starting Monday. She didn't even take time off. She was going from one job to the next. I commend her on that. Got bills to pay. Ain't no time for time off.
Especially the holidays coming up.
Yeah, no joke. That's good for her. And then her poor little buddy Dave is down in Mexico Beach cleaning up mess. His brother's probably whooping him into shape. Mm-hmm. His brothers are hard.
They definitely have their work cut out for them down there.
Hell, Mexico Beach, there may not even be anything left. Have you seen the drone footage?
I don't guess so.
Oh, it's just smashed. It's gone.
Now, they've got the condo in Mexico Beach, right?
They have 5.
Okay.
His brother's got 5.
But what about the house in Apalachicola?
I think it's fine. Hell, it was 14'6" off the ground. The water got up to 14 feet. Think about that. Think about standing out in the yard. Okay, standing out in your front yard. And then water's 14 feet. It's 10 foot to the top of a damn basket to the rim on a basketball goal. So add 4 feet to that. That's a lot of water to cover a strip of land from the ocean.
Right.
At least that's what they say it was. It was 14 feet. It come to the bottom of his thing.
Yeah, we saw the video footage of
that was only about 5 feet.
That was before the storm even hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently, another guy that we showed me pictures of, his first job, he lived in Mexico Beach, actually. And somebody sent him pictures that's down there still. These damn cars, man, are flipped upside down, sitting on top of each other, where the water, swirled them up and set them there. It's devastating. And we were talking about basically like how Gulf Shores happen. Gulf Shores used to not be nothing on the beach. Like you go down the beach, Front Beach Road, and you just see
the beach.
You see the beach.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few hotels or whatever pop up, but when it came through, whatever hurricane it was, went through and just devastated what little houses did on the property. Well, they don't have flood insurance down there. They won't give you flood insurance. Okay, so.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because they know it's going to flood. If a hurricane comes,
sucks.
So you can't get flood insurance. So basically, what happens is if you don't have money to rebuild, what are you going to do? You stand there, you sell your lot.
Yeah.
So all these corporations are going to swoop in Mexico Beach, and they'll put fucking hotels up all down through there, and it'll be just like Gulf Shores in Panama City now. Because there's nowhere. Because that's why Dave's brother was getting condos down there, from my understanding, because it was starting to build up. You've done about as much you can do in Panama City. You've done about as much as you can do in Gulf Shores. And that's the last little sliver.
Yeah.
Getting down before you're getting into Apalachicola and stuff, which has got a lot of that land is like reserve, like preservation stuff. They won't let them build on it. That's like the last little chunk. So about 5 years, it'll just be.
That sucks.
Hotels and stuff. It won't be the quaint small town.
I hate that for them.
Yeah, I'm interested to find out if any of his stuff survived, because they weren't on the water. They were in, across the street and stuff like that.
Right.
So it'll be interesting.
I did see one video. I think it was from those condos. It was getting pretty rough.
Drone footage?
No, somebody was actually. There was a news reporter in one of those condos in those buildings. No shit. Yeah.
Man, you couldn't pay me enough to do that stupid shit.
Wow, you've done plenty of stupid shit for free.
That's true, but it's just not thinking. You just need to for somebody else, I guess what I'm saying. They're going to send me down there. I'm gonna sit in this condo for these people. And they're gonna pay me probably. Those guys don't make the money that the big name guys make. They're probably making next to nothing. So we're gonna go ride out this hurricane that, that
I'd do it.
You do it?
Yeah.
They said.
I was actually talking to one of the girls that I met a couple years back at No Man's Land. She's from Florida. She's living over in Georgia now. But
oh, remind me to tell you something that pertains to that.
Okay. But we were talking about it. She, called, check in with me or messaged me. And I don't know. I like that feeling right before the storm, and even sometimes as the storm's blowing through.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way the air feels and smells, and it's almost eerie but almost relaxing at the same time for me. And then
this is the end. The end, my friend.
Like with the storm, I'm the fucking idiot you'll see standing out in the front yard waiting.
Fair enough.
It's tornado. And then you run to the back at the last second. I'm that idiot. But, it's like I was telling her, I've never had anything bad happen to me.
It only takes once.
Well, and I'm saying, that one time could be, the one time that changes it for me.
Sure.
I could have the encounter that's close enough that would scare me that...
Well, I'm not saying I'm scared. I just know better. I'm just saying.
Well, what I'm saying
You don't
is
know
I
better?
would be the idiot that would go down there to broadcast it because I enjoy it.
That's fair
But,
enough.
if I survive a true storm...
Oh, I just beat the crap out of that mic.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry. I understand. And if it was my property, maybe, but I don't know. I don't think I would do it for... if they paid me good money, I would just think, fuck, they're not going to... nobody can come help you or whatever if you get fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I was just going down there because I'm stupid and I have no responsibilities, then I guess that'd be one thing. But you got a responsibility. I got to stay on station. Your hair's, flat back from the wind.
Dude, did you see the reporter that was down there that almost got hit with the 2x4? He's standing outside reporting.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta find that.
Yeah, I'll pull it up for you, but...
Hey, if he'd got hit and killed, that'd have been the end of that shit. They wouldn't. Yeah, they'd cut way back on that.
Well, the girl that I was talking about in the condo, she was in the condo, but this guy was like out in the open.
Yeah, he's got to stand out there.
That goes back to a couple podcasts ago. I don't know how y'all got on this, but with Tim, it's not that the wind is blowing.
Oh, that's what I said.
What the wind is blowing.
Yeah, I said that from...
Sorry.
That's a Ron White bit from... They were having a hurricane down in Key West, and he says, when a Volvo was flying through. That's fucking hilarious. But, yeah, so... And that'd be my luck. I'd stand out there. I wouldn't drown. The building wouldn't fall on me. A fucking stop sign would come swooshing by and cut my head off.
Yeah.
It'd be like an idiot. But,
It'd be a quick stop.
It would be. It'd be a quick stop. I wouldn't know nothing about it. Know just enough to go, well, that was it. But I do enough stupid stuff on my own. But,
You want to tell me something about...
sad to report... Speed Deluxe is closing their doors.
Dude, I saw that.
Well,
they're not closing
the motorcycle aspect of it, but they're I think they're closing.
Now, hold on. For anybody that is not familiar with them, Speed Deluxe is a small business based out of Chattanooga.
Yeah.
It's a married couple that they work on motorcycles, but they recently opened up within the last couple of years.
Well, they specialize in vintage motorcycles.
Okay. But a couple of years ago, they moved to a bigger building, and they started selling motorcycles, Royal Enfields, new ones.
Yeah.
They had a coffee shop. They were doing yoga and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think their yoga was a mistake. I think they were just trying to fill a void.
No, I don't think they... No.
I'm not saying that's what shut them down, but I just think... I do think that was kind of a mistake. I think when you go... It was just too much diversification. You got they work on bikes. They do a great job working on vintage motorcycles.
Which was downstairs in the little basement area.
Right. And then you got all the motorcycle stuff upstairs. You know, vintage stuff, obviously.
Retail.
Yeah, retail stuff, and they're selling bikes, and then you got a coffee shop. And the coffee shop I was with, I mean, because a lot of people do like to sit around and drink coffee, and they were in a good spot. But I think the yoga might have just put. I'm not saying that that's what messed them
I'm
up.
making a disgusted face at him.
I just think that was a little too much. You know what I'm saying?
Why? They had the space. The community was there.
But
They did it like on Sunday mornings.
yeah, I don't know. I just found that weird. I mean, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I found that weird.
Huh?
You know, some people might have found having a coffee shop and a vintage motorcycle place weird. I don't know. I felt that was a decent balance. I don't know about the whole yoga thing. But that's just me. I might as well throw a chiropractor in there too. I always do it.
Hell yeah. Do something. You do enough riding on vintage bikes, you'll need one.
Absolutely. Or any bikes really, if you do enough. My neck's all stiff right now. Ooh, which reminds me, I've been watching a lot on this. You know, because my neck's been stiff the last about a week or so. But they're doing the stem cell treatments. Are you familiar?
Break it down, Barney style.
Barney style. So they basically there's different ways of getting stem cells, and one, they get it from bones. One, they get it from they had a big pushback a few years ago because doctors were trying to do research with embryonic stem cells, which was making some real weird shit going on.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't working. It was causing defects, whatever. But they do allow in the United States certain stem cell work that comes from bone marrow. Well, down in Panama, there's this place that does it, and they do it from the umbilical cord. So they take the stem cells, and what it is your and I'll mess it up. So basically what they do is they intravenously put it like an IV. And the way the guy was explaining it is they go and they pull the stem cells out of the umbilical cord, and you got the good ones, and you got ones with the guy was referring to as golden, like the best ones. And they separate those out, the golden ones. And those things will double in 24 hours. So what they do is, and then they'll double and they grow them. And then they take that and put it in, I'll make it simple, they put it in the bag solution or whatever, and they can give it to you, intravenously, and it goes and it attacks inflammation. They're like all this crazy stuff that it's good for. And then they can put it in direct places, like put it on your hip, put it on your knee, put it on your neck, all the stuff like my neck jammed up, and it will go and it'll attack and it'll make those things better. And what it does, basically, it rejuvenates. You take basically newborn cells, and they say newborn, like 0-year cells, and it'll make your stem cells act young and rejuvenate, because that's why, they say, well, when you're younger, you can bounce back from stuff quicker.
Yeah.
And as the older you get, the less those things work. And, man, I've been watching a lot of that because of my neck thing. And Mel Gibson did a thing on some other podcasts, and his dad, who was 92 years old, they took him to the Mayo Clinic, and basically said, hey, you might as well leave him here. He's going to be dead in 2 days.
No shit.
But 92, 92's good run. He's having hip problems, heart problems, and all this stuff. So they kind of stabilized him, whatever, and I'm just regurgitating what I was watching off this video. Everybody can go look it up. It's easy. Just look Mel Gibson stem cell thing. But basically, they took him, his friend, who is a high-end doctor at the Mayo Clinic, good friend Mel Gibson's bro's like, what about, let's get this done. So Mel Gibson talked to him, and he's like, oh man, it's all BS, it's this and that, blah, 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 blah. So Mel Gibson, being a superstar, megastar, whatever, goes, hey, well, let's just call him, can we call him? So he gets his doctor friend to call these people, and then, they talk back and forth, whatever. And so his doctor, paraphrasing, his doctor basically said, don't sound bad. Your dad's 92, what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
So they fly him down to Panama, and they juice this cat up. They got the stem cells ready. They know he's coming. They got everything. They got everything from his doctor. It's a legit clinic. It's just that it's not legal in the United States yet to do this particular kind. And so flying down there, push come shove, they put all that stuff on there. And in no time, this cat, 92 years old, is walking around. His vision gets better. He starts getting color, a little bit of pigment. I'm going to say a little bit of pigment back in his hair. Getting boners. Yeah, that's what he said. They talked about other things. So my dad would probably be embarrassed to say, shit's getting...
Well, it goes back to what I said about Tom Cruise and fixing his fucked up teeth. You can do anything with money.
Right. Well...
I mean, if Mel Gibson wasn't Mel Gibson and didn't have the money that he has...
Right, and they talked about that, but a lot of stuff it was doing...
But let me tell you why that scares me. The world's already overpopulated.
Well,
I don't think we were ever meant to live as long as we are now.
And that's a fair statement because his dad's about to turn 100. His dad's 99 now.
Jesus.
So his dad went from 92. They were writing his obituary. Now he's 100. Now he doesn't get around like they were talking about in the thing. And for all people interested, you go watch the videos. I can't. It's not my information. I can't. I'm only paraphrasing. But basically, he was still... He's cognitive, he's intelligent. Even at now, right before he's 100, he's got all his faculties. Now, he's still he was walking pretty good, but hell, he's 100, so he's still, he's not dancing, he's not running marathons, but he can get up and move around on his own, and, but what the doctor was saying they were really focusing on is, MS, multiple sclerosis, all of that, spinal cord injuries. They talk about this one guy that was a pilot, friend of the doctor that does this stuff. And he's like a big time pilot, and he had a crash and had a spinal cord injury and paralyzed from the waist down. Okay, they go in, they juice him up with these stem cells, and he goes from extreme pain to no pain. Still nothing going on downstairs. He goes through his second cycle of it. He gets movement in his left leg. I think he'd end up doing 2 or 3, and all. This dude's flying again. He's walking around. He went from...
Damn, I wonder if that would work for your little buddy, Alan.
Yeah, no. Alan Henley. I don't know because it's been so many years. Right. Obviously, the longer... doctor said something about, they won't do it within 6 months of the thing. So if it happened, they waited 6 months and 2 days to mess with him because they wanted to see truly what was going on.
Right.
And then so 6 months and 2 days, I'm just regurgitating what the guy said. That's when they started doing the stuff on him. But yeah, the dude got his pilot's license back.
That's awesome. But I think it's cool for shit like that.
Right. Don't do it as a cosmetic.
Handicap somebody.
Yeah.
But, yeah, at what point do you say...
What?
Where's the line? Because people are spitting at kids left and right. People are living longer. Where do we go from here?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. If I had $25,000, I'd be going down there getting shot in the neck to hopefully not having more of a bolting disc. Now, and the doctor said that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to extend your life.
Right.
A lot of this stuff is to combat. Now, it will extend it to a point. It's not going to make you live to 150, is what I'm saying. But like Mel Gibson was talking about, he was having shoulder issues, so he got a 1 cycle through the intravenous thing, and then they take these big needles and they shoot them directly in his shoulders to do it. Well, he said something about he had like blockage in one of his carotid arteries, and they wanted him to take these drugs or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Well, after he got that done, that cleared out. So, yes, it will extend life. I don't think it'll make people live longer than our normal lifespan, but it will make people live longer than maybe their lifespan was really going to go. But it's just like like I won't say his name on here, having heart issues. If he went and had it done, he might get another 15 years. It's not going to make him live to 150, but it might make him live a better next 15 years.
Quality of life.
Yeah, and I think that's what the guy was really pushing, was more not a cosmetic thing per se, but a like kids, kids with MS and there was something else and I can't remember, and I'm gonna mess it up, but other kids coming in and they're being born, and you got these young parents, and they're basically, kids are gonna have to go like the Shriners Hospital and stuff like that, and they're saying and autism, they did some trials on some kid who had autism, and they juiced that kid a couple of times, and he's no longer autistic.
Interesting.
That's what I said. So there's, and what the guy's saying is it's all natural in essence, because they're not putting any drugs in you. Mm-hmm. And the reason why they're considering it, he wouldn't say it, but I'll say it because I'm nobody. He said
pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. Big Pharma, doesn't want that because there's money in treating problems, not curing problems.
Right.
And so the FDA considers this a new drug. So they're having to do trials upon trials upon trials, whatever. Basically what you got is, Big Pharma in the pocket of the FDA.
Yep.
And they don't want,
That's a damn shame.
It is a damn shame. Because I think it was TJ Dillashaw and Boss Rutan. For all you people that don't know, they're MMA fighters. And Boss had problems with his neck and different stuff, over the years. And he's had a couple neck fusions and stuff. So he was in pain, had pain issues and whatnot. But he's been juiced by this guy. And he told...
With the stem...
Yeah, the stem cell stuff. Mm-hmm. When I say juice probably not the correct word. It kind of sounds like steroids. But, he's got the stem cell stuff done. And his quality of life's gotten better. Now, his neck's already jacked up in the sense that, because it's been fused and stuff like that, he doesn't have a 20-year-old's neck anymore. But he doesn't have that twinging pain, sort of like I get sometimes. And then the other fighter, he was having a little bit of issue with his shoulder, from fatigue of hitting bags, hitting mitts, doing whatever. He went down there like 6 weeks or so before, maybe a couple months before the fight, big fight he had, got his work done, and they say you see stuff like pretty quick, and he ended up winning the belt.
What did you have done on your? Cause
it was just a pain block. It was a narcotic. They do that for, and it's the same essence. They go in and they take the needle and they actually puncture into the disc, and they put the pain meds and the anti-inflammatory in there, because what happens is it releases that, it makes it relax, so it doesn't push out and push on that nerve. And
that was a couple of years ago you had that done.
Right.
Before.
And almost 2 years ago, really, almost 2 years exact.
I thought it was longer than that.
It was.
It might be before we went to Hawaii.
Yes, probably 2.5 years ago. Because we would. Yes, about 2.5 years ago, maybe 3. But anyway, but the thing about it is, if there's something that can combat. I mean,
you haven't really had much problems since then after that block.
No, but
you've done some chiropractic stuff. You've tried the cryotherapy.
Yeah, cryotherapy's awesome, but it's a Band-Aid. It really, I mean, it's
apparently the pain block was too, just a better.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it is, but cryotherapy is like just taking an ice bath, but you do it faster.
Yeah, and colder.
Yeah, faster and colder. Which I may go to Friday. You never know.
Are they going to have one that's going to cover your neck?
I don't know. I may have to squat down.
Come up that was the problem you had last time,
right?
Right?
I had to get a snorkel and squat down. have a little bell.
You're ridiculous.
I would like to do the one that you go in like a sauna where it's complete, but and I don't know. I'll check it out. Maybe they got a new. I haven't been in a long time to that one, so maybe they've got another machine by now.
Yeah.
You know, they were just getting started at that time. I don't know what they have. I have to check it out. But if they got one that's complete, I probably could do that.
Yeah.
But
I think you should.
yeah, but my neck's getting better though. It's just irritated because of all the stress I've been doing the last couple of weeks of being out of town and doing a bunch of other stuff. So I think it has that much just kind of inflamed it, because it's getting better every day. Now I'm not doing that, but no, I've been watching that off and on all day. So I've been fixated on the whole stem cell, and there's a guy that's actually right down here, 1 mile from us at the St. Vincent's Clinic down here that does stem cell therapy.
Really?
But and he's BJJ black belt. His name's Ricky Tubbs, Dr. Ricky Tubbs. He trains at Gracie Baja over in Pelham. And I think he's opening a school in...
Is that Khalifa's place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But met him a couple times, but he is an anesthesiologist, some sort of wellness doctor, and does whatever, but he's got a spot over here at the St. Vincent's Clinic. And I've actually thought, and now they do the bone marrow style.
How do you How do you find this shit out? Y'all, if you don't know, Chris knows everything.
I wouldn't say I know everything.
You know everything.
Well, if something sparks my interest, I dive in.
Ask me how a gas pump works.
I was interested in the gas pump. I can't help it. I was like,
so how did you find out about this stem cell doctor that is training BJJ?
Well, I knew him before. I had met him a couple times before.
Tubbs?
Ricky Tubbs. I mean, I wouldn't say that we know each other. I've just met him. I've ran into him. Through the world of jiu-jitsu. And I've been introduced once or twice. Whatever. We haven't drank beer or hung out and nothing like that. But I know who he is. And typically you know all the black belts in the general area too. If you train jiu-jitsu.
Not many of them.
Yeah, not a tremendous amount of them. So, but I knew that he was a wellness doctor. And so anyway, I looked up his practice, and he lists that. And so, of course, I'm fixated on, the stem cell thing. So I'm looking at what he offers, and I'm looking at, what you can do in the United States versus, and, I think Joe Rogan said that he's had some done, but he's only had the stuff that's done, through the bone marrow stem cells, which is... they basically say is a lower potency than the umbilical cord style. And so anyway, with that being said, I may check him out and see what insurance, covers. Because it may be one of those things that after Knucklehead gets his ear operated on and stuff, and we're past deductibles and all that good jazz, I'll rush in there and get me a old shot in the neck.
I think at this point you're ready to try anything.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not a narcotic, it's not, whatever.
Yeah.
It may be worth it. Maybe a 5-year good.
Yeah, give it a try.
So, I mean, there's risks in everything, I guess. But, so anyway, I might check him out. And if it works, then I'll try to get him on here and talk about it.
That'd be pretty cool.
So it'll be like,
I'll dip out for that one.
That'd be too much for you.
Yeah. I can't hang with the smart kids.
Would you glaze over?
Oh, definitely.
Well, you'd have plenty of time to research.
That's true, but still.
You might have you might have better questions than I've got. I might be just so happy to get the twinge off my neck that it's like anything else. I'll be like, yeah, whatever. And you might be like, well, wait a minute. What about whatever?
I'll stick to prison, bad parents, dogs, motorcycles. I'll stick to the simple shit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna see what it's all about. And what I'll probably do is get. I may go through Khalifa and get him to, introduce me, to him.
Yeah.
Whatever. Or if I just go down there and meet him and be like, hey, we know these people, whatever, blah, blah.
You're pretty good at that.
Yeah. Introduce myself. And it might be better after I get my,
Brown belt.
Yeah.
That's coming up next month.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about that too much, though.
Oh.
Because I don't know.
Well, we're hoping.
We're hoping. If I get to test for it. We'll see. Depends on how life treats me.
Well.
We'll have to see, though. But anyway, that's my world today. Stem cells, dogs in costumes, pumpkins.
Yep.
So.
Not much new.
No. Well, hopefully Dave and everybody will be back this weekend, and we'll see what kind of havoc and devastation Dave will probably have plenty to tell us about.
Yep, sounds good. Hey, next time we get together, I want to talk about motorcycles.
Well, we can talk about motorcycles now.
No, we can't talk about motorcycles now. But next time we get together, I got a lot to say about motorcycles.
Fair enough.
Sounds good.
All right.